And when I first came here, this used to be a beautiful path, all the way to the college, just a nice little pedestrian path. But look what has happened here now. And this, my friends, is just the beginning. So let's keep going. So like I said earlier, this used to be an entire path all the way to the college, something like this. But now, as you can see, the fences, or as the dangas, like I told you, are falling everywhere. But this is still all right. More is yet to come. Meanwhile, you can see the damage on the other side. This particular house is just about to go. And I wonder if these tarpaulins could hold any longer if we have the sort of rainfall that we had in July. I don't think it's going to stand for long. But let's just hope that it does. So, going on to college now. And of course, the another point that I want to make is that most of this damage perhaps is man-made. This is the Banjar dumping site near the city. Because if you really think of it, even here, all the old villages were built in secure places and there has barely been any damage in those areas. It's mostly the urban spaces where we have over-constructed or dug up all these new roads without conducting proper surveys and investigations. That's where the problems are. And also, of course, in places where we haven't really left area for, the floodplains of the river, for instance, So this used to be the old path. As you can see, it's all gone because we haven't left any area for the river. Rivers, always expand now and then when there are cloudbursts or heavy downpour. So we should have kept those areas. And all this path, used to be a beautiful path, like I keep saying. But look what it's. And hundreds of students every day are coming like this. Several of them are coming from even far off places where they walk for anything between 15 minutes to an hour just to get to the roadhead. And since there are no buses, they must take taxis. And taxis cost them $100 either way. For instance, from Gusheni. So every day they're spending 200 to 300 rupees just to get to college. And a lot of these students come from very poor and struggling families. So yeah. So anyway, on to the old path. Moving on. This is the old water mill. Doesn't really function anymore. And again, so this old path used to go all the way up from here. But over the past few months, everything has been destroyed. So yeah, if you want adventure, why not come to Banjar? Enjoy these little hikes every day. And this, my friends, is the bypass road that was dug up. Look at its condition. I won't even go further because it's all fallen, full of debris. So let's take the other path. Look at all the devastation here. And again, talking of the man-made parts, look at all this fallen. Not even fallen, these were not naturally fell. These were cut down. There you go. And as we have been studying since our childhood, what happens when you cut trees? Soil gets eroded. And well, we lose out on land, like several people have lost out. And we still haven't learned. And just look at this. This was supposed to be the road leading to Jibbi, bypassing the Banjar market. Look what has happened. Just because they dug it up and didn't bother to complete the work. I think a lot of damage is just because of this. And even while building the road, they just basically made the road over a literal stream. And now this is the stream that we must cross to get to the other side and towards college. It's a little tricky. There. Okay, we have made it safely past the stream. And now we're on the other side. This road too is all gone now. So I wonder what is happening. Recently I saw a news clip about how NHAI says after all the damage to Manali and Mandi highways, that they're going to put in more effort before digging up, before cutting up mountains. They're going to conduct proper surveys. They're not going to cut mountains at 90-degree angles and so on. But the question is, why wasn't it done before? Like, if you talk to the elders here, they say they haven't seen such floods since 1994 or 95. But living experience says over the past few years, the frequency of such destruction due to cloudbursts and climate change and so on has just increased. From maybe 30 to 40 years, the frequency then became 5 to 10 years. And now the way things are going, you can just remember the visuals even from 2-3 years before. All these Volvo buses swimming down Manali and so forth. And it's not just Himachal, I guess, it's happening across the country. Flooding, riots and whatnot. And even perhaps across the world. So again, I'm not pinpointing particular people or government or etc. It's not about that, it's much bigger. It's a human problem of consumption and avoidance of the questions of sustainability and so forth. Just look at what we're doing. Where there shouldn't be even 2 houses built by the river, we have built entire colonies. So what are we expecting? And just development without any heed or sense. So anyway, we're finally on the college road. Seems all right here, but let's see. We're almost on the other side, about to reach college, and we'll pick up from there. So all in all, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes every day to make this journey. And well, it's become like an obstacle course now, as you can see. And I'm still living nearby. I just feel sad to see how students who are coming from faraway places are faring. Most of them, 200 rupees for them is a big deal. Their parents are making compromises just to be able to send them to college. Look, water everywhere, another man-made thing, because we haven't built drainage systems. It stopped raining 2 days ago, but still, the road is full of water, even now. And from every other place you can see water seeping through, drainage water. Like, look at this here. So if we had built proper drainages, and of course you can't smell it, a lot of this water and this mud here, just stinks. Because why? We didn't build proper sewage systems in the villages. So most of the water, this overflow, is just being mixed up with sewage and just flowing through the roads and just, sort of washing away all the mud beneath the roads. And no wonder then the roads are falling. If we had these systems already in place, maybe the damage would not have been so much. And my point being, look at these old villages there, if you can see. On top. They're all safe, no problems there. Villages, centuries and generations ago, there was this collective generational knowledge which told them that this is the place to build a village. It is safe from certain winds, it gets adequate sunlight, it's safe from, hailstorms and avalanches and so forth. But now, of course, it's like a very, again, a human nature problem, economics problem, because land is limited now and we want to build everywhere that we possibly can, especially near the roads, because of course, tourism and so forth, it's a source of income. If nothing else, you can set up a shop. Look at this house under construction. It's just about to fall. And this is the big house that we were seeing from the other side of the river. Looks nice and all, but I don't know how long it will stand. And especially if we have the sort of rains that we had in the beginning of July, well, I think we might just have to bid goodbye to a lot of these spaces. And now, so yeah, the road I didn't take, the bypass road, we took a left. On the right, you can see what has happened. And in fact, yeah, this is the college entrance. I'll show you the college road as well. But first of all, check what has happened here. Look at the condition. And all these roads and bulwarks, like I keep telling you, it hasn't even been a year yet. So what are we doing? All this waste of public money, what's the point? Of course, the contractors are going to again get some contracts and they're going to build and make some money. But what about the public and public money? Look at the college, all the water being drained. Like I told you, it hasn't rained for 2-3 days, but still. This is the parking lot that was recently constructed. And again, not trying to blame anyone. It's just who we are, what we have become as human beings. And as you can see, the college road is pretty much gone. So a lot of the vehicles are just stuck in the parking lot. And even if we do get out of the college gate, where do we go? Like I showed you, the road is devastated on top as well as the bottom. Nowhere to go, as I said. So anyway, let's just keep moving on. And if on the other hand you look at these old constructions in old bulwarks, they're probably made well because they're still standing after years. Meanwhile, look at what has happened to the recently constructed roads. Who is to blame for this? I don't think we can blame the government. The government has its hands full, too many things. It's more about us as individuals and as societies, unable to claim what is ours and unable to raise voices for what should happen inside our own spaces. All these drainages were built by the students themselves. Water logging everywhere. And this finally is our great college and all the vehicles stuck here.